Your lips right now, that curve, that volume, that perfect pout staring back from your selfie. Seems so modern, so 21st century. But what if I told you the secret to plump lips wasn't born in a Beverly Hills clinic? It wasn't even intended for beauty. The true origin is a battlefield, 1917. World War I trenches. Soldiers return with faces shattered by shrapnel, jaws missing, lips torn away. Reconstructive surgery is primitive, brutal. Doctors desperately need something, anything, to rebuild these destroyed faces, to give these men some semblance of normalcy. They experiment with paraffin wax, silicone, even goat cartilage, all of which were disastrous. They caused infections and lumps, failure after failure. But one surgeon, obsessed with restoring dignity, stumbled upon a substance used in eye surgeries and injected it into a scarred lip. The result, not perfection, but promise, a glimmer. The shocking truth, the multi-billion-dollar lip revolution, the defining look of Instagram, the symbol of modern glamour. It began not with vanity, but with the desperate need to heal the horrific wounds of war. The quest to rebuild broken faces accidentally built the blueprint for beauty billions crave. Stick around, because how this medical salvage operation exploded into a global phenomenon, changing faces and cultures forever, is a story filled with genius, greed, glamour, and consequences nobody saw coming. Imagine a world where plump wasn't a beauty ideal for lips. Thin lips weren't just accepted, they were often the standard. Think silent film stars. Clara Bow's iconic Cupid's bow was delicate, defined, but decidedly not full. Marilyn Monroe. Her allure was in the shape, the curve, the gloss, but volume, not really. The beauty arsenal was limited. Lipstick, yes. Liner? A messy, temporary trick known mostly to makeup artists. Wanting bigger lips felt vaguely embarrassing, a flaw whispered about, not flaunted. The alternatives were terrifying. Paraffin wax injections in the early 1900s, a recipe for paraffinomas hard, disfiguring lumps that migrated under the skin, causing chronic inflammation and requiring horrific disfiguring surgery to remove. Silicone, pioneered in the 50s and 60s. Initially liquid, industrial grade, injected by non-medical practitioners. The results were often catastrophic. Permanent swelling, chronic pain, granulomas, tissue death. Silicone parties became underground nightmares. Collagen, derived from cows, arrived in the late 70s as the first official filler. But it was expensive, required painful allergy testing, lasted only 3 months, and frankly, looked kinda stiff. It offered subtle correction, not transformation. It was for the wealthy seeking subtle fixes, not volume. The desire for fuller lips existed. Look at ancient cultures using irritants or suction, but achieving it safely, effectively, and affordably. Impossible. Society saw thin lips as neutral, maybe even sophisticated. Fuller lips could be coded as vulgar, overly sexual, or associated with specific ethnicities in problematic ways. The gap between what some people saw in the mirror and what they desired felt unbridgeable without risking disfigurement. Humanity needed a solution that was safe, reversible, natural feeling, and accessible. A solution that could truly sculpt soft tissue without the specter of past horrors. The stage was set, the problem painfully clear. But the breakthrough wouldn't come from the world of cosmetics. It came from an allergy clinic in Sweden. Enter Dr. Bengt Mikael Klein, not a plastic surgeon, but a dermatologist and allergist in Helsingborg, Sweden. The year 1984, Klein is wrestling with a problem, testing for skin allergies. The existing methods are crude. He wonders if injecting tiny amounts of purified allergens under the skin might be more accurate. He needs a stable, biocompatible substance to act as a carrier, a slow-release depot for the allergens. He experiments with a clear, gel-like molecule already found abundantly in the human body. Hyaluronic acid, HA, is nature's perfect cushioning. It lubricates joints, fills space in skin, holds water like a sponge. Klein perfects a way to stabilize it, cross-linking the molecules into a cohesive gel. Nasha, it's brilliant for his allergy testing. But he notices something else. When injected into the skin, it adds volume smoothly, naturally, crucially, it's non-allergenic, and if something goes wrong, an enzyme can dissolve it instantly. The light bulb moment. Could this heal in another way? Not just for testing, but for correcting. Klein is a scientist, not a marketer. He faces immense skepticism. The medical establishment remembers paraffin and silicone disasters, injecting something for cosmetics, frivolous, dangerous territory. But Klein perseveres. He sees the potential beyond allergies. He founds QMed, a tiny company operating out of a converted farmhouse. Early trials are cautious, focused on medical applications like scar revision. But Klein knows his wife becomes one of the first non-medical recipients, getting tiny high injections for smile lines. The results are subtle, natural, and unlike anything before. The drama peaks in 1989. Klein seeks regulatory approval, not just in Sweden, but globally. The FDA process is grueling. Years of data, safety studies, rejections, and resubmissions. Critics call it unnecessary, risky vanity medicine. But the science is solid. The safety profile undeniable compared to the horrors of the past. Finally, in 2003, after a 14-year odyssey from allergy gel to aesthetic revolution, the FDA approves Restylane Klein's Nasha filler for smoothing wrinkles. The dam was about to break. The tool for the lip revolution existed. Now, it just needed the spark. Restylane's 2003 FDA approval was the starter pistol. But initially, it was all about wrinkles, nasolabial folds, marionette lines, lips, still a cautious afterthought. Early adopters were wealthy, discreet, but the technology evolved rapidly. Competitors emerged, Juvederm, Perlin. Manufacturers realized different areas needed different gels, thicker gels for cheeks and deep folds, softer, more malleable gels specifically designed for the delicate, mobile lips. Enter products like Restylane Silk and Juvederm Ultra. The lip filler was born as a distinct category. The early 2000s also saw the rise of celebrity culture and reality TV. Pampered socialites on shows like The Simple Life flaunted a new, conspicuously plump look. It wasn't just lips, but lips were part of the package. Then came the influencers, pre-Instagram. Bloggers dissected celebrity faces, speculating wildly about procedures. Trout pout entered the lexicon, often cruelly, but it signaled awareness. The 2008 financial crisis oddly fueled growth. Lipstick effect. During downturns, people invest in small luxuries that make them feel good. A filler appointment fit the bill. But the true cultural atom bomb detonated in 2015, Kylie Jenner. Then 17, admitted on her family's reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, to using temporary fillers for her lips. After years of denying it and crediting clever lip liner, overnight the stigma vaporized for a generation. Searches for lip fillers exploded. Clinics reported triple-digit increases in requests, particularly from young women. Kylie's confession was the ultimate influencer marketing, making fillers mainstream, desirable, even aspirational. The technology kept pace. Canulus reduced bruising, better numbing creams, made procedures tolerable. The Russian technique promised subtle, natural-looking volume. Prices dropped as competition soared. Walk-in clinics, lunchtime lip jobs, Groupon deals. Fillers were no longer just for the elite. They were accessible, fast, and increasingly focused on one thing: maximal, Instagrammable lip volume. The quest for the perfect pout was officially global. The lip filler boom solved an aesthetic desire, but its ripple effects reshaped beauty, society, and even medicine in ways Dr. Klein never imagined. Positively, it democratized a certain look. No longer reliant solely on genetics or risky permanent implants, people could sculpt a feature tied to youth and sensuality. It fueled a booming aesthetics industry, creating jobs for nurses, doctors, and clinic staff worldwide. Perhaps most profoundly, it became a tool for gender affirmation, helping transgender women achieve features aligned with their identity. But the negatives proved equally powerful and insidious. Social media became the ultimate amplifier. Filters like Plump and Kylie Lip Challenge normalized, even demanded, extreme lip volume, creating a distorted benchmark impossible to achieve naturally. The pressure, especially on young women, became immense. Filler dysmorphia emerged, a distorted self-perception where natural features looked inadequate, leading to overfilling and a cycle of procedures. The Instagram face, characterized by pillowy lips, snatched jaw, high cheekbones, became a homogenized global beauty standard, eroding ethnic features. Accessibility bred exploitation. Unqualified practitioners, lured by profit, injected cheap, illegal fillers in unsafe settings, leading to vascular occlusions, infections, blindness, and horrific disfigurement. The pursuit of volume over proportion resulted in the dreaded duck lips. A cautionary tale, yet one still pursued, ethical concerns soared. Should teens get fillers? What message does sending a 16-year-old 4 lip injections send? The normalization also impacted dating and social perception. Fuller lips became unconsciously associated with health, fertility, and attractiveness, potentially biasing interactions. Economically, it created a lucrative but ethically complex dependency for clinics and practitioners. Perhaps the most profound consequence was internal, the shifting baseline of normal. What looked augmented a decade ago now looks natural to many. The natural lip became something to be corrected. The quest for perfection, fueled by a simple gel injection, revealed deep societal anxieties about aging, beauty, and self-worth in the digital age. The tool meant to enhance freedom of expression sometimes became a cage of conformity. Today, lip fillers are a cornerstone of the global aesthetics industry, worth tens of billions annually. They're mundane yet transformative. The syringe is as common as the mascara wand. The initial shock is gone, replaced by nuanced debates about trends. Are natural lips making a comeback? Is the era of extreme volume fading? Yet the underlying demand remains robust. The legacy is multifaceted. Scientifically, HA fillers are a triumph of bioengineering, safe, reversible, adaptable. They paved the way for a whole range of injectables, targeting cheeks, jawlines, under eyes, even hands. Culturally, they're a defining marker of early 21st century beauty, as recognizable as the 1920s bob or 1950s pinup curves. They forced conversations about beauty standards, aging, consent, and the ethical responsibilities of practitioners and social media platforms. The story teaches us profound lessons about innovation. Klein's filler wasn't conceived for lips. It solved a different problem entirely. True breakthroughs often come from unexpected connections. From applying knowledge across domains, it highlights human ingenuity's drive to solve problems, even aesthetic ones, but underscores that the application of technology carries immense weight. It shows how a small invention, born from compassion for wounded soldiers, can morph into a cultural juggernaut with vast, unpredictable social and economic impacts. It reveals our deep-seated desire to control and sculpt our appearance, and the powerful market forces that emerge to meet that desire, sometimes heedlessly. Ultimately, the lip revolution underscores a fundamental truth. When you give people a tool to change their bodies easily, you change far more than just faces. You change perceptions, industries, economies, and the very definition of what it means to look normal or beautiful. This story teaches us that innovation often blooms in unlikely soil, driven by human empathy and curiosity. But its journey into the world is shaped by our desires, our cultures, and our sometimes unchecked ambitions. It reminds us that even small solutions can ripple outwards with immense, unforeseen power, to heal, to empower, but also to distort and pressure. The next time you swipe on lip gloss or admire a selfie, remember the long, surprising journey in that tiny syringe. It's more than just a cosmetic fix. It's a reflection of our relentless drive to reshape our world and ourselves. What unintended consequence of the lip filler revolution surprises you most? Do you think the quest for the perfect pout helps or harms our perception of natural beauty? Share your thoughts below. This conversation is crucial. If you found this hidden history fascinating, give us a like. It helps us uncover more stories like this. Subscribe to Brand Anatomy's Origins and hit the bell. Next time, we dissect the shocking military origins of the microwave oven. Stay curious.